Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, the Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, the Burnt Hands Perspective. All right, sitting here right now with Chef Brian Duffy. Classic. My man over here, you're involved with all kinds of stuff, bro, with the culinary world. And tell them, if they don't know, where did you get your start and how did you come up and what are you doing here? Why am I talking to you? Why am I attracted to you? You are a handsome guy.
I am a very handsome guy. I feel confident in that.
Don't let no one tell you different, bro. I'm telling you right now.
My name is Brian Duffy. I'm a chef. I grew up in Philadelphia. I graduated from culinary school in 1995. Really having no idea what I wanted to do in the industry. I just knew at that point maybe I'll try cooking. That's kind of the way it played out. From there, I just kind of moved into becoming a chef of a bunch of different restaurants and owning and operating different restaurants. Since then, I've opened 116 restaurants. I am a part owner of a spice company called Wurzpott, Wurzpott, out of Germany. I am an advisor on a company called Molly B's Cookies out of Alaska. I'm also one of the owners of a company called Yum Crunch, which is a multimedia firm that we handle all culinary content across the board. We've got over 100 billion views on our stuff. I'm also on the board for the Bar and Restaurant Expo, used to be known as the Nightclub and Bar Show.
That's right.
And right after pandemic, we rebranded it as the Bar and Restaurant Expo, really focusing as much as we could on things that smaller mom and pop restaurants need, as well as chains and whatnot. But from there, we came into the Food and Beverage Innovation Center, which was an idea to give smaller restaurants an opportunity to see what can be done without being locked into a purveyor or something to that effect. Right now, a lot of our purveyors are really kind of gearing what happens on our menus and what we do. And this whole center is all about thinking outside of the box. So we bring 7 different chefs in. We have 20 culinary students from Johnson & Wales. We have 10 different volunteers that help us plate. We're going to feed over 10,000 people over the next 2 days. We have all sponsored stations throughout the whole thing. Middleby Equipment handles every single bit of our innovative equipment.
And that's a lot of induction-based
all
stuff.
Induction,
so
combi.
Sure.
We've got conveyor char broilers. I've got a hood system over there that cleans itself with UV light. Our stations over there, we've got a pizza zone put on by Parpan. I have a chef out of New Hampshire who runs that and does whatever he wants. Literally whatever he wants. He creates some of the greatest pizzas coming out of there. I've got a fry zone sponsored by Allied Potato. So we have three different cuts of fries. And then I have Heinz Kraft, who handles all the sauces for it. So they have the new system, which is basically it's a million ways to sauce. So they have choose one, but what you can do is you can mix and match and create any sauce you want to do. Right. Then we have like Maple Leaf Duck as a sponsor, Lando Lakes Queso Bravo, which is a huge sauce that we're using in the show, Fresh Origin, microgreens. So really just kind of getting some of these products. It sounds like
the stuff you're talking about, the broadleaf duck, I use that. The microgreens.
Maple Leaf,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
So broadleaf is where I get my boar.
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Duck, Canada.
Yeah.
Canadian duck. Good stuff. I mean, this is good quality stuff.
Indianapolis.
That is from there.
Maple Leaf is Indianapolis.
Things I learned.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know either. I always thought it was a Canadian company as well. Then when I started to dig in and find out more about their product, and what they're doing for us is a sous vide duck breast and a duck confit, and then I'm frying all my fries in duck fat.
Perfect. So as I confit my duck for my menu, I'm always recycling my duck fat and keep growing and growing
Constantly.
and growing. So it's a great thing. But what you're saying now makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of things going on here, especially at this expo. You could probably agree with me. Small town USA, everywhere USA.
Yeah.
A lot of us are only subjected to what it is that we are subjected to, right?
Yeah.
So our reps, our vendors, our purveyors will bring us only what we see. And I'm talking about not the food way. I'm talking about the new technology going on in the restaurant industry. Here at these events, I recommend all of you come and see what's here, because just walking through it one time, you're going to see so many innovative things that can help you get more inspired to cook, more methods of cooking, easier ways of cooking, monetarily, saving you money to cook. May cost you a little upfront, but what it saves you in the long run is ridiculous.
Sure.
So technology has changed drastically since COVID.
Yeah.
I feel cooking the technology to cook and bring things to the table has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
That we don't even get to see them until we come to big events like this.
Well, originally we had a robot that was going to work our fry bar, but he didn't show up for work.
Yeah,
so
figures.
We were close. We were so close to getting him in there.
Can't trust him.
But I heard Musk has a new culinary robot that is doing a whole bunch of stuff as well. $5,000 for this system for him to do his stuff.
And I hear a lot of people talk about, well, robots are going to replace us. Never the case. A robot can't replace a chef's mind and hands.
Absolutely.
But it can assist in things on different levels of cooking. Yeah, totally. May it replace something that's putting out French fries at a massive amount at a football game?
Sure.
Possibly. Will it really just destroy cooking as a whole?
So
it already is, correct.
It
already is.
Yeah.
So, yes, I can see what they're talking about there. You're going to lose a little, the hands taking basket fries and put them up there at minimum wage. But it's going to be so much faster and more productive to get those fries to a customer, because that's really, in a football game or a stadium setting, people want their food now, right? Yeah. So it really works there, and monetarily it works smartly all the way around.
Yeah.
So without people like you, and you are getting ready to go and do some speaking here, or
yeah, I'm actually doing a seminar coming up in a minute called Chefs and Owners: Who Owns the Kitchen.
Yep.
So
perfect. So when you go to these seminars, you're basically reciting what you've learned, your experiences.
Today's all about the fact that we have a lot of chefs and a lot of culinarians that are out there that are really not trained in the business of being in the restaurant industry. It's great. They put out unbelievable food. They're doing a great job with putting the cooks in line and getting everybody ready to go. But the finance behind it is something that's missing. So if you're an owner operator who just buys a bar and you've got a kitchen and you have a kitchen manager, what do you expect from that person? So I walk you through a daily, weekly, and monthly situation of what you should be expecting from your chefs, from your kitchen managers, to help your kitchen not only run more efficiently, but to run much more as a business so that it's profitable instead of just putting food out.
So you're right there. A lot of people think when they hire a sous chef or a kitchen manager or a chef de cuisine, whatever you want to label it, they're thinking that, well, you're not doing what I hired you to do. And they put a lot of pressure on that person to come in and recreate their vision. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So what you do is you try and explain to the owners or the restaurant owners or the chefs on how to utilize the people they are bringing in to follow a projected path.
Absolutely. Give these owners an idea of what they should really be looking for, and tell chefs, look, because you're putting the title of chef on your jacket, it doesn't just mean that we cook. It means that we have to run a financially sound business operation.
And that's where the translation gets lost, my friend. A lot of people call themselves chefs, especially now. The way social media has done that stuff, and it's so easy to get the chef title.
Absolutely.
Because you can cook, for all you in the back, because you can cook doesn't make you a chef. Stop. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that. Run your crew, run a kitchen, run a productive menu, have your food costs show the results, and then you're on the way to being a chef. Yeah. Just because you're cooking makes you a cook.
Chef means head of the brigade. That's the idea behind that. You're the person that oversees everybody that works underneath of you and what happens with that. And it is. I mean, I interview people for clients and for restaurants and for my own places all the time. And I'm interviewing for executive chefs, and usually they fail on the first question. First question being, let's talk about the budget at your last restaurant.
Sure.
Well, most of them don't understand what a budget is. They don't even know what the sales they were doing. Well, if you don't know what your sales are, how are you budgeting for your purchasing? Sure. How are you budgeting for your scheduling? And how are you going to make money off of that product?
Right. And a budget can go a couple of ways. So when I ask that same question, I'm looking for at least some sort of costed percentages, some sort of how are you spending a budget? Because a budget could be a budget,
Yeah.
But how are you going to go around it? If you have a $500,000 budget, which would be beautiful, it's going to be the same treatment as a $30,000 budget.
Yeah.
So what is your parameters of what you're going to do with that budget? Where do you want to operate? Where are your numbers? Where are your percentages? Where are you staying? So these are all things that you try and bring to in your speeches and lectures.
A lot of time I talk all over the country, all over the world about hospitality and profitability, how you can make more money based off of what you're doing. While I'm here, I do 2 days of live menu reads where I have not seen any of the menus that are being presented to me. They get up on a screen. I read it for the first time, not only as a chef, but also as a guest. And I'm looking at that menu and I'm critiquing your menu, how you can make more money, what can work in this way. You've got spelling errors here. Your menu's not developed in the right way. You should move this over to here. You can use this product to go a different way. So I try to show owners and operators ways to make more money in the industry as well as be more creative. And number one, beyond all that, is to bring in unbelievable product.
Sure. So with that, I mean, that's great. That's pretty much great to close on, man, because you go any further with that. Where can people find you as Now, if you want to put yourself out there as what we're talking about now, or just you as a chef and a culinary and what you've done for the community.
Absolutely.
Where can they find you?
My consulting firm is called Duffified Experience Group, but you can find me on all socials at Chef Brian Duff, and that's the best way to go through me. Schedule a call. We can sit and talk about your project, see what's going on, and determine whether or not you're going to be a fit for me, because I don't work with jackasses.
Yeah, jackasses suck. Nobody likes to work with them. Probably why you don't have people working for you or with you, because you're a jackass. Don't be a jackass. Call the Duff.
Yeah, man. I come in and I really work with staff. I do creativity sessions with chefs where we can talk about products. I look at your inventory on a weekly basis. We talk about what's happening, what you guys are doing, what your marketing plan is, and how you're going to move forward, and what we can do on a food level to make that happen. Not only match the concept, but also make sure that it's coming out in a profitable and creative manner.
So it's an upfront cost for you, but money well spent is better money saved in the end. So in this instance, sometimes you have to bite the bullet, realize how much you're losing over the course of time, rip the Band-Aid off, spend it at the beginning, so that way you could make it up in time instead of losing it. So hiring a consultant like you or your firm is something that most people who are even troubled with the question we asked, where are you operating? If you can't answer that right now, calling someone like you or you is something that should be in everybody's repertoire. And that's what makes a good chef.
I come into your restaurant, I do a kind of behind the scenes evaluation. I watch the operation up front. The next day I come back in, I hop into your kitchen, I watch the operation in the kitchen, and then we go from there and figure out where the problems are and what lies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, I've been following you for quite a while now. I got the pleasure to meet you first months ago, and we've been somewhat of contact between now and then.
Back out there
plan
again
to see
this
you
week.
Again. Yeah, plan to see you again in the next couple months.
Sounds good to me, man.
And love seeing you out here doing what you're doing, bro. Especially for the kids, what you're doing with the kids and the programs and the training and
we
the
work
students.
with Johnson & Wales. We pull them all together. We do a session in the morning. All of our vendors come in, talk to them about the products, because it starts with your culinary students and your guests about what it is that's going to move forward in the future.
Multifaceted culinary experience right here, Brian Duffy. Come check him out. You saw, he plugged. You know where to find him. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. This is the Burnt Hands Podcast, Burnt Hands Perspective. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.
See ya.